In South Korea, love between celebrities is treated almost like a spectacle of its own. When two actors or idols go public with a relationship, it feels like the entire country stops to follow every step, from the first paparazzi photo to the dream wedding. But what if I told you that many of these perfect marriages are nothing but a facade? Forget the fairy tale the media sells. Behind some of those rings and luxurious ceremonies lies a cold game of contracts, marketing strategies, and behind-the-scenes deals that have much more to do with money and reputation than with actual feelings. Arranged marriages by agencies, lightning-fast relationships forged to save a career, couples created just to please the public. Yes, all of this happens, and more often than you'd think. And the worst part, when the mask falls, what's left is scandal, cancellation, and ruined careers. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into the dirty side of Korean celebrity marriages, who got married for convenience, who was used as a marketing piece, and who paid the highest price for a love that was never real. On the surface, everything looks perfect. Two famous actors, a love story that begins on the set of a drama, public appearances holding hands, smiling photos, and suddenly, a luxurious wedding that makes headlines across the country. But behind that K-drama-worthy script, there's often just an agreement. Yes, an image agreement. In the Korean entertainment industry, a celebrity's personal life isn't entirely their own. The agency manages it, monitors it, approves it, and in some cases, even decides who that person will date, or at least who they'll appear to be dating. Couples are formed not out of love, but because their union can create engagement, clean up a scandal, or boost one of their careers. It's not uncommon to hear rumors about couples who were put together to shift attention away from a controversy. An actor caught in a scandal, pair him with a beloved actress in a high-profile relationship, an idol losing popularity, nothing like a carefully calculated romance to generate buzz and repair his image. And when the timing is just right, usually before a big launch, the news of the relationship breaks as if it were spontaneous, but it rarely is. Even more shocking is knowing that, in some cases, the marriage is just an extension of that marketing strategy. There are stories of prenuptial agreements that are, in practice, business contracts. Couples who get married already knowing they'll divorce in 2 or 3 years, once the public image is solidified and the goals have been achieved. Time-limited marriages, cold and calculated, planned like a publicity campaign. And before you think all of this sounds too exaggerated, tell me, how many K-dramas have you seen where two characters get married out of convenience, to save reputations or gain something in return? Did you really think that was just fiction? Because honestly, why else would writers and directors return to this theme over and over again if it didn't reflect a common practice, especially among Korea's richest and most famous? Of course, not everything is officially confirmed. South Korea is known for keeping this kind of information well protected, especially since the public still prefers to believe in perfect love stories. But just pay attention to the details. Relationships that appear out of nowhere, with no previous context or connection, marriages that end right after a major ad campaign, couples who suddenly disappear without explanation. The truth is, in many cases, love is the least important thing. The focus is on image, profit, and the control the industry has over the narrative the public consumes, and those who try to break free from the system often pay a high price. Now, that's not to say every celebrity marriage in Korea is fake, but when the storyline seems too perfect, too fast, and ends with scandal or complete silence, it's hard not to be suspicious. And there are a few cases that still divide opinions, especially when they involve two things that rarely fail: fame and personal interest. The most well-known example, without a doubt, is the whirlwind marriage between Song Joong-ki and Song Hye-kyo. They were the lead couple in Descendants of the Sun, a drama that became a worldwide sensation in 2016. Their chemistry was so intense that many fans were convinced the romance couldn't just be acting, and they were right, or at least that's what people believed when, the following year, the two officially announced they were dating. Just a few months later, they got married. The ceremony was luxurious, broadcast to the world, with guests from the top tiers of the entertainment industry. But what started as a modern fairy tale ended in one of Korea's most unexpected and silent divorces. Less than 2 years after the wedding, they announced their separation, with no major details, no public explanations, but with plenty of buzz and speculation, especially from fans. Fans began to question, why did the marriage end so quickly? Why was there no valid explanation after the breakup? And why did everything seem so strategic? To this day, many people believe their relationship was, at the very least, accelerated by external pressure from agencies, media, advertising contracts, or even as a way to capitalize on the drama's success. After all, the union of two beloved stars was a goldmine for million-dollar campaigns. But that's not the only case raising eyebrows. Another example is the relationship between Byung Hun and Lee Min-young. They began dating in secret, went public, and soon got married. But shortly after the wedding, one of the biggest scandals of Byung Hun's career broke out. He was blackmailed by two women after being caught in inappropriate conversations while already married. The scandal exploded in the media, and even though the actor tried to apologize, his image as a loyal husband was completely destroyed. What caught the attention of many was the fact that Lee Min-young, a talented and beloved actress, stayed by his side even after the scandal, raising rumors that the marriage may have been more of an alliance of convenience than a real bond. For many, she was used as a tool to improve Byung Hun's public image, and in the end, she was the one most hurt by it. In the Korean entertainment industry, image is everything, and a famous couple can be worth millions. Literally, when two celebrities start dating, their commercial value skyrockets almost instantly. Brands rush to hire the couple as ambassadors, social media numbers explode, and websites and TV shows dive into every detail of the relationship. It's as if love becomes a product, packaged, sold, and promoted to the max. And if you and I now know this, the agencies and career managers know it even better. They fully understand the power of a media-driven couple. That's why they often directly influence their artists' decisions, including whether to go public with or maintain a relationship. A well-timed relationship or marriage can generate advertising contracts, joint appearances in reality shows, sponsored content, and even boosts in product sales promoted by the couple. One of the most common examples of this is when couples become the face of cosmetic, fashion, or travel campaigns. Everything is meticulously planned. But what happens when the relationship ends? Almost always, the advertising contract ends too. Along with it, millions of Korean won in potential profits. In some cases, the breakup leads to fines for breaching image agreements, and the financial damage can be massive. That's why many couples, even when they're in crisis, delay announcing the split. The perfect image they sold needs to last long enough to bring returns. And of course, that comes with an emotional cost, one that rarely shows up on screen. More than love, what's expected from these unions is visual stability, emotional marketing, and financial return. To the public, it looks romantic, but for those inside the machine, it's pure strategy. When a relationship between Korean celebrities comes to an end, the public demands answers. And if those answers don't come quickly, the theories begin, almost always followed by judgment, attacks, and cancellations. What's most disturbing is that often, the one who pays the highest price isn't the one who made a mistake, but the one who doesn't fit the popular narrative. It's common to see one party turned into the villain based purely on speculation, and more often than not, that party is the woman. Song Hye-kyo, for example, was heavily attacked after her divorce from Song Joong-ki. Even though neither of them made controversial statements, rumors started circulating that she had been cold, distant, or even unfaithful. Nothing was ever proven, no concrete evidence. Yet hateful comments flooded her social media, and the actress ended up disappearing from the Korean spotlight for a while. Meanwhile, Song Joong-ki, who quickly entered a new relationship and got married again, received far less criticism. This double standard is nothing new. The Korean industry still carries a deeply conservative mindset when it comes to the image of women. A woman is expected to be delicate, loyal, pure. Any behavior outside of that mold becomes ammunition for the public to unleash hatred, and the internet only makes it worse. Another striking case was that of Gu Hye-sun, an actress known for Boys Over Flowers, who went through a highly publicized divorce with Ahn Jae-hyun. When she came forward accusing her ex-husband of emotional betrayal and disrespect, the public initially supported her, but the moment she showed stronger emotions, like anger and indignation, she was labeled as unstable and manipulative. The case became a war of narratives, and the impact was brutal for both, but far heavier for her, who ended up disappearing from the screen for years. This obsession with finding someone to blame and the tendency to treat real-life relationships like reality shows opens the door for cruel attacks. Comments like, "She deserved it," "He just used her," or "It was all for fame" spread quickly, baseless, heartless, and in the end, the ones who suffer the emotional toll, the loss of contracts, and the isolation from the industry are the celebrities themselves, not the people typing behind a screen. That's why more and more celebrities choose to hide their relationships, not because they don't want to love, but because they know that, in Korea, going public with love can be the beginning of the end of their careers. In dramas, we get emotional over couples who overcome all odds to be together. But in real life, especially among Korean celebrities, love is sometimes just another piece on a chessboard controlled by contracts, expectations, and profit. What we've seen here today is that not every celebrity marriage is born from the heart. Some are formed under industry pressure, others to preserve a spotless image, and some, perhaps the saddest, simply out of convenience, to appear perfect in in the public eye. And when those relationships end, the damage is real, not just to careers, but to the lives of these people, who are often treated like characters in a script they never even wrote. Now tell me, do you believe true love exists in the Korean entertainment world? Or is everything we see already filtered, edited, and approved by the agencies? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if this video opened your eyes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because there's a lot more truth coming your way.